Right, let's begin. I'm thinking I'll talk a little bit about the gear first, how to gear the character, just for a quick thing. As with most, if this is for PvE to start with, I'll do PvP afterwards. Accuracy should be 110, as far as I know. That's what it used to be in before 3.0, and I still think that's what it needs to be. So 110% accuracy, but that's not in melee accuracy, that's in force accuracy. And if no one knows how to do that, open your character sheet, and then bottom left there's a place where it says melee. Click on the drop down and then go down to force, then you can see your force accuracy. The reason I want that much accuracy is 100 is enough to make sure that your spells and so on hits, but the 10% extra will penetrate the armor and do very good damage, as far as I understand. I'm not completely up to date with why it has to be like that, but I just know that this is how it's supposed to be. Crit chance should be anywhere between 20 and 25, I've heard, and that's again also force, not melee. Mine is 20, almost 28, but I think that is because I have full 198, and of course my stats are not completely perfect, because all my gear is almost, it's not tokens, it's comms, and that's not the perfect gear. But and crit multiplier should be around the 70, 75, more or less around there. Alacrity is actually not that important for a lightning sorcerer as people think. Of course, it's good, but it's not important. It's a bit down the line, and I'll show you why later. Right, Andre, I'll need you.
Yeah, I was not in game. I'm logging in right now.
Ah, okay, yeah, we'll just wait for you, because everyone meet on the command deck of the flagship. We have Tom, me, and Natla here. So who else is not on the flagship on the command deck? Please report. So because this will be showing how everything works. I need my test dummy. Because now I'll be showing the rotation of the sorcerer. At least the way I do it. There are different ways of doing it and whatnot, but I like to do it this way. And it's proven pretty good. Oh yeah, by the way, a quick thing about my gear. All my armor pieces, you know, the 7 armor pieces you can have, are all legacy. That way I can transfer them all over to my assassin if I wanted to, of course, because the stats are still the exact same needed: willpower, endurance, accuracy, power, and also to my Republic characters. Because I do have a 60 Sage, so I just put all those over there, and he'd actually be almost ready to go, or at least around halfway ready. Right, okay, Andre, let's duel a minute. Right, we're not going to be dueling. I'm just going to be showing how to do the rotation. Okay, first thing you want to do is activate the polarity shift, because that will grant 20% alacrity and immunity to pushbacks for 15 seconds. So I'll activate that. Then you want to do affliction first, then lightning flash, then crushing darkness. When you activate lightning flash, crushing darkness activation time is put down by half a second. Then you want to use thundering blast, because while crushing darkness is active on the target, then thundering blast will have a 30% chance to hit twice, doing half the damage on the second spell. And also, the reason we use affliction is because thundering blast, if that hits a target that has affliction on it, it will critical hit. Then after that we'll directly do recklessness, as it's called, which grants 2 charges of recklessness and makes sure you can crit twice, more or less. Then we use chain lightning, and then we use force storm, because force storm with a recklessness will every single hit will critical hit, and then we'll do some thundering, some lightning bolts until our chain lightning can proc again, and then we just use that, and then we more or less start the rotation all over again. And then you can use some shocks and some force slows to kind of mix it up or stop it. Let me just change to my PvP gear here. PvP is almost the same gear. You want to focus on the same stats, but your accuracy only needs to be 105% in force accuracy, as far as I remember. Again, I'm not sure why these stats are as they are, but they work. Right, let me just see, I should be in full PvP. Right, let's just say me and Andre are going to have a match. I don't know who's going to win here, but I'm going to try and win. A couple of... Oh, yeah, now I can't see him. I need to duel you first, I can't see you. Right, before we duel, a couple of quick things. One is there are a couple of good spells you want to use. One is of course, the expunge, which will cleanse you. So, maybe 1 or 2 dots. I think affliction is one of the cleansable ones. If anyone puts that on you, you can cleanse it. The other one is, of course, your static barrier. To put that on yourself, that's a very good thing. And the other one is the one called Resurgence. It's a healing spell. That's very good because it's a heal over time. It immediately heals you for like 1,500, and then continually heals 1,398 over 9 seconds. It's not much, but it's better than anything. Yeah, okay, let's try duel a minute. Right, now you can go stealth on. The most important thing here is to know your character. I know Andre, he has to hit me more. So right now, first thing you use is force slow, run away. While I use speed, my force slow will penetrate instantly twice. And my resolve bar score, just stop it. I'm going to use my unbreakable. Now can constantly move while using stunning blast. Again, stunning force slow. He does a lot. Use force slow. Demolish us now. And of course he has the whirlwinds. Funny thing is, I'm still getting... with half of the life to spare, or quarter of a life. The most important thing when doing this duel is to make sure that you, especially when it's the assassin, always for example, assassin or any melee class, juggernaut, marauder, stuff like that. Always make sure to constantly have force slow on them, because I can hit him as many times as I want with its just global cooldown. No, it doesn't actually have a normal cooldown, and it slows the target by 50%, meaning it takes longer for them to actually get to you and hit you. So yeah, that's a very great thing. Right, we're just going to duel again, Andre. Just heal yourself up a minute, and we're going to do a slow duel. I just quickly want to show some of the things that make the rotation as it is, why you should use it. Now I'll try and explain it very slowly. Okay, let's try a duel again. Okay, we're not actually going to have a proper duel, Andre, just so you know, so just show yourself a minute. Right. Okay, first thing you want to do is always use our polarity shift. It works for 15 seconds, and it's a great thing, because you can always just... what is it called? You can just use your first rotation very quickly. So pop that first, then we use affliction on him first. It's a dot, no matter what, it's good. Then the lightning flash. Rushing darkness activates in 1.2 seconds. Then our thunder blast. As soon as that goes down again, we use recklessness, chain lightning, and force storm. See, I'm doing a lot of damage. 2.1, 2.1, 2.1. I'm pushing on each hit, and then I can keep doing this again. See, there it hit twice. Shock and force slow, although they are not, so to speak, they don't hit hard, but they are very good for fillers. If maybe you think some of your other abilities are on cooldown, or for example the lightning bolt and the chain lightning, they take a long time if they're not ready to proc, otherwise they'll be instacast. So yeah, shock and force slow. Force slow also does some minimal damage and also slows the target, so also a very good thing to use. Another quick thing I want to talk about is the one thing that we all use but we don't think that much about, and that's the force speed. When I run, I use force speed. Mine's on Shift F, just that's my hotkey. When I do that, I gain 2 convection, as it's called, where it says lightning strike or lightning bolt, and we'll use lightning bolt, of course. They activate instantly. Let me just reply to this guy on the guild chat. Right, okay, there we go. Yeah, again, that grants 2 charges of lightning bolt, which can be used straight away, and when they've been used, let me just open up. I can't remember.
User joined your channel.
It's hey Quentin. It says something about it in the skill tree somewhere. I can't remember what it's called now. Chain lightning. There's that. Anyway, there's a proc for chain lightning, where around, I think it's once every 8 seconds, maybe, or something like that. The chain lightning will proc and make it an instacast, which is very, very good. No, I can't see it right now. Okay. Anyway, one more thing that's very good. Let me do just duel again. That's because I've been asked a couple of times by people why, how much alacrity a sorcerer needs, and I replied to them, not much, if not any, if not none. Then this is the reason why. When I use my lightning bolt, it takes 1.5 seconds right now. More or less each time I use it, I get a charged reaction that can stack up. I think it's 5 times. No, sorry, it's 3. That is force regeneration increases, that's good. But when that reaches 3, we get something called focal lightning, and that's alacrity increased. Right now it's at 3, goes to 4, and then 5. And each time we use an ability, it just stays at 5. And alacrity increased, of course, is very good, and it will keep us at a pretty good alacrity. Don't know if I can see it. Let me just go to force. Yeah, right now I haven't activated any abilities or anything, not my polarity shift, but just with this buff, my alacrity is 8.5, and my normal alacrity is not even 2 when this buff wears off. I just took it off. Now my alacrity is 3, and when the charged reaction, or sorry, the other ones wear off, right, okay, I've only got my normal buffs left. My alacrity, okay, it's still 3. Still, it's 1% alacrity per time. 5% alacrity, or 8 as it actually ends up with my gear, is more than enough. I mean, a healer said to need 10, although I don't believe it anymore, because of all the procs we can get. So yeah, that's more or less all I have. So when you're dueling, remember to use force speed all the time, to make lightning bolt, proc, use all the procs. Remember to stun, force slow, run away, because we're not juggernauts, we're not tanks, we can't take many hits. A quick thing for the skill points before I stop this. I like to have Sith Defiance. We're going to start on Skillful, which is the second to right at the top. It increases damage reduction by 3%, because we are still very vulnerable, so it's a very nice thing to have. Then of course I have Tempest Masteries, the next one to the right, increases the damage dealt by Force Storm by 25%, because still at the moment Force Storm is a very overpowered skill, so it's a very good one to have nonetheless. And then I also have Sap Strength. Target stunned by your electrocute suffers Sap Strength when electrocute wears off, reduces all damage dealt by 25% for 10 seconds. That's also a very nice one to have, but you could take off Sap Strength and maybe go with Empty Body, for example, which increases all healing received by 10%. And when you use your self heals, that makes it go a little bit faster, so it will help you survive in arenas, for example. Yeah, that's all. Also, the oppression force is an okay one. Lowers the cooldown of electrocute by 10 seconds, and whirlwind affects up to 2 additional targets or weak enemies within 8 meters of the target. So that's a pretty okay one as well, but that means you're gonna have to be good at using whirlwind, and not everyone uses that. Then there's immersion in the masterful. I have a force speed grants immersion, removing all movement impairing effects and granting immunity to them for the duration. That basically means when you use your force speed, they can't just stop you, so you can't continue running, which is a very nice thing. Routing is damn annoying at the moment. But yeah, this is for PvP I'm talking. If we were PvE, then okay, skillful for PvE and PvP would be more or less the same. They both work a treat in both scenarios. But in Masterful, suppression is if you ask me, a must-have for PvE, because activating Cloud Mine grants suppression, which increases damage reduction by 25% for 6 seconds. Cloud Mine is the Sorcerer's ability to lower threat, so when you're doing operations, you always want to use this ability anyway when you're starting at the boss. And should the boss target you, you use this ability. After a bit of time, he will get off you because you won't be generating that much threat, but while he's hitting you, you won't take that much damage. So it's a win-win situation, basically. And then there's also electric bindings for PvP, middle bottom in Masterful. Overload binds targets and electricity, mobilizing them for 5 seconds, and direct damage dealt after 2 seconds ends the effect prematurely. Very good ability, especially in the what's called, I think it's the Alderaan scenario, with the turrets and stuff like that. Very, very good. If they're about to cap it, just jump up, smash them away, and then they're bound for 5 seconds, and you can just, well, heal yourself up or whatever you need to do. Also, lightning barrier is a very good one. Backlash is also a very good one. Lightning barrier increases the amount absorbed by static barrier by 10%. It's okay, but only go for it if you're a healer and want to place a lightning barrier on people, because that helps, of course. And then the backlash, what's called when it erupts or when it disappears, your static barrier will blind up to 8 enemies for 3 seconds, and damage will break it, of course. But still, a very good thing when they hit you and suddenly it goes boom, and it will, stop them. Now for the heroic, the one I never get rid of, no matter what I'm doing, is the one called Force Mobility. Thundering Blast, Innovate, and Force Leech may be activated while moving. Basically, it gives you a lot more movability. Great skill to have, I love it. The only bad thing about it is you can't just, like, for fun, click it and then when it's almost finished channeling, move away, and then it won't channel, because it will still channel and it will hit whatever you've targeted. And then the Force Haze reduces the cooldown of Force Speed by 5 seconds, Force Slow by 3 seconds, and Force Barrier by 30 seconds. That's okay, but Force Barrier is still 3 minutes cooldown, so 30 seconds here or there is not going to do that much. But Shapeless Spirit reduces all damage taken while stunned by 30%. If you have any plans to do PvP on the Sorcerer or arenas, this is probably a must-have, because you will be stunned all the time, and this will help a lot, otherwise you will die instantly. There's also the Surging Speed, but you don't need to move 50% faster while you have your Polarity Shift. It's just not viable, especially when Polarity Shift has a 1.5 minute cooldown. Yeah. There is one though that I also like to have if I don't have my Shapeless Spirit on. I would maybe turn off Shapeless Spirit either for PvE or normal PvP war zones, not arenas. I would have that all the time. But for normal ones, you can turn this off and then go to Corrupted Barrier, because that will make it so that your Static Barrier, Force Barrier, so the Static Barrier, that's just the normal one we have here. the one I have here. That's the force barrier. That's this one. Hold on, a barrier where I can't be damaged. And then when this wears off, it gives me another buff. I'll just leave it running. I'll get another buff now called Enduring Bastion. Absorbs a massive amount of damage. If I have this ability, or this utility, Corrupted Barrier, then yeah, my Static Barrier, Force Barrier and Enduring Bastion heal me for 2% of the total health every second for as long as they last. This healing scales up to 8% with the charges for Enduring Bastion, and that is because the longer you if you leave Enduring Bastion, if you leave Force Barrier up all its channel, it will tick 4 times. 4 times 2% is 8%. But if you're about to die in the war zone, my suggestion would of course be to put Resurgence on yourself. Okay, shit, we'd have to wait 2 minutes for me to show this, that's annoying. Okay, let me just reset my skill points and then I can show what I'm talking about. There. That one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Okay. Right, yeah, I've put them now. Let me just check. Okay, good, that work. Yeah, need to wait 1.5 minutes. Andre, you're still there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, just let's duel a minute, and you can quickly just hit me down. Don't kill me, please. But yeah.
I'll try not to.
You will try not to. That is. Where's my general? Where's my hitting ability? Hitting with my light sword. Take it slow. I still have 1 minute to wait until I can use my ability. Quick thing for those who don't know, if you look in your bar right there, what's called in your player frame, there are some buffs and debuffs. At the debuff section there are 2 types. There are normal ones, which you can't cleanse. They have like a red square around them, and then there's the other ones, for example like his Crushing Darkness. If you try and use that again, Andre, they'll have a blue frame around it, which means it's actually cleansable, I think. Okay. I thought they were. Okay, that one apparently isn't cleansable. I'm not always sure how they work, this cleansable thing. But some of them are. Oh wait, did we stop fighting? Okay, no we didn't. Good. Right, okay, it hit me down to around 20%. Okay, right, stop there. I can now use Resurgence, Elemental Preservation, and then Static Barrier, and then I can use my Force Barrier, and see both of them, they are giving me 2% at the moment. So see, it's counting up, and the hot was also giving me a bit. Right, now I can just use that, Resurgence, and then heal me once up, and I'm back to full health, and my Enduring Bastion just wore off now. So always, if you're about to die, try and use and you have this skill point, use your Static Barrier, Resurgence, your Unnatural Preservation, and then use your Force Barrier. Especially if you're doing regular, you'll always have this available, because, well, yeah, all cooldowns are stopped at the end of the when the fight's over. So yeah, that's more or less what I had to say, I think. Let's just quickly finish this. Oh yeah, a quick thing I learned from Andre actually. If you are in a duel like this, you can see your resolve bar. It's above your picture in the well, yeah, above your picture. First, when this becomes white, do you want to use your stun breaker? Lol. Yeah, because if you use your stun breaker before, you'll get stunned directly afterwards, and you cannot get out of it. and that's what I just did because I have a bad habit of doing it. Yeah, just finish this. He's got 5 yeah, that's more or less what I wanted to show. Don't think I can think of any more. Anyone have any questions?
Not at this point.
Not at this point. Okay.
Where did you get the bastion? Which skill?
That is when you use your force barrier. When the channel is finished, it puts.
It always comes up.
Yeah, enduring bastion will come up.
Ah, yeah. Okay, now I see it.
Yeah. But depending on how long you let the force barrier channel for, you know, if you use it and then directly get out of the barrier, the enduring bastion will only tick for like one second or 2 seconds. But if you leave it all the way, then it ticks. Then it can stack 4 times, as it's called, and that's the best you can do. Yeah, pretty good. You can practice on Andre. You see Tom's ability just hit twice there. He's a thundering blast. Basically, oh yeah. Just let it count down. You can see it's healing you. Remember to use your normal shield as well, your static barrier, because that heals you for 2%. Okay, you're at full health now anyway. And Andre's completely by the way, he's a tank. And Tom's in PvP.
No.
Nope. Yeah, see, Tom uses stun breaking, correct? I didn't. Okay, right. 2 things quickly. One, there's an ability I see people using a lot, and that's the Force Lightning. It does do around 5k damage, but that's over a long period of time, around 3 seconds. So it's an okay ability to use, but personally I would never use it. I don't know. I've never actually used it much. I could try it one day and see if it helps me.
I've been trying on it while on PvE. It uses less power than the light for storm.
Yeah. True. I know that depends on everyone's playing style.
Yeah, I've been having problems with keeping up my power.
Yeah, if you're in a really long fight, then yes. Andre, duel me again quickly. There's 2 things I need to show. Ah, my lovely woman meat bag. That's good to have. Everyone should have their personal meat bag. Right, okay, let me just, don't touch me here. Let me just quickly put on a couple of things. One thing I also want to you guys, can you click on Andre and see his health and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that ability. Okay, I've used it now. The best I could do was a 2k hit on him. Let me just try and activate my recklessness and trial. Okay, critical hit every time. That's actually okay, but still, 4 storm is better, especially now with 3-7 stuff like that. Unless he pops his shield like he just did now. One other thing. You can all see him now, right? Now you can all see that I put an affliction debuff on him. Right, let's see. It is at 10 seconds now. One thing I can do is use affliction every time. If I use my crushing darkness on him, it will be put back up again. See, 15 seconds. And also, when I use my chain lightning, it also goes back up again. So, crushing darkness and chain lightning will put the debuff back on him. So this is very good and very nice thing to remember during operation and boss fights, because then you don't have to keep on pressing your. For me, it's actually the 1 key to apply affliction all the time, because that's just damn annoying. You just put it on the boss 1 time, and then just keep on spamming all your abilities, and it will renew itself each time you use crushing darkness or chain lightning. Oh yeah, where did okay, Andre. One more thing. When let's just say, for example, you're an Oricon or Riche, I don't know, but a place where there's a like a pack of mobs. There's two ways to start a fight. One is just by using lightning bolt and the proc on chain lightning. The other way, let me just wait for this to run down and get ready to proc again. The other one is, of course, to use Force Storm, and then that will also make the chain lightning proc. So Force Storm, and then quickly that's done chain lightning. But the third way is also basically the best way is to try and get as much damage on them before you initialize combat. So what I like to do is use my chain lightning first, let it tick, and then as soon as that's done, I use my Force Storm because that will still slow them. And as soon as I use my Force Storm, it will still make chain lightning proc. So because when I use the first chain lightning, I'm not actually in combat yet, so no mobs are going to come after me as soon. This won't work in PvP, but in PvE it works perfectly. So chain lightning, they're not coming yet. Now I'm in combat. Quickly Force Storm. My chain lightning is now procced. So just when they get out of the chain lightning, or sorry, the Force Storm's area of effect, use chain lightning again. Yeah, that's a couple of tips for you guys. Any questions?
No.
Nope.
Just in case anyone was wondering, Casper did no damage sometimes because I used my Force Route to stay alive.
Exactly. Like I could see, it just said absorb or reflect, I think it was. So that is why I didn't. Try and not use your thing now, Andre.
I won't use any cooldowns now to see the difference.
Okay, now I'll just use. You see that, and then I use Force Storm with the recklessness put on. You see he's losing a lot of health fast. Then just use my. Oh, that, then that, and that. Boom, he's dead. Easy stuff. I even did a wrong thing in the rotation there, but that's another thing. So yeah, that's more or less what I had. And I'm guessing no questions? Okay, I'm taking that as a no.